Hey, 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 this is Seagrove, and today I'm joined by four guys who are going to be going to the Madison Regional Championship, and they're going to be walking us through the meta and their forecasts there. But first, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Kian, why don't you start?
Hi, my name's Kian Amini, and I've been playing for about 10 years, and I write for someone's PC, and I qualified recently, or a while ago, and I'll be playing at international and stuff.
Okay. Wamboldt, go ahead.
I'm Andrew Wamboldt, and I play out of St. Louis, and I've been playing since 2011.
Okay. Liam.
Hi. I'm Liam Williams from Seattle. I've been playing for a long time, but I took a break for a while and I came back a couple years ago. And I'm not going to Madison. Full disclosure. I got
Surprise.
419 points and I don't have a lot of incentive to go, so I'm not
19
going
more
to.
than you need.
Exactly.
All right. Connor, go ahead.
Hey guys, my name is Connor LaVelle. I write for PokeBeach and someone's PC. I got my invite like 2.5 months ago, and I haven't played a tournament since. So Madison is going to be my first one back.
All right, I got a question about this. We've talked about this before. So, you all who are doing 400 and chill,
Yeah.
if the season weren't such a grind, would you play in more events?
Maybe if there was a reason to play in more events than just what's required for 400, and also like if there was a best finish limit on regionals and SPEs and stuff, then I think there would be a lot more incentive to travel to more regionals and try and cap out the points that you can get from them.
Yeah.
But like if you're going into the season, at least from my perspective, I don't know how everybody else feels, but if you're going into the season and you know that you're not going to have the money or the time to travel to as many events as you'll need for top 16, then there's really no point in going to any more events than you really want to.
Okay.
Especially beyond the 400. Like after 400, at that point, you're just going because you feel like going to a tournament.
Yeah.
For someone, like, I've done top 16 like the last 3 years, and like this season, like I really determined if I did well at London, I would have went for it. But since I didn't do good at it, I could have kept going for it. But like I didn't want to travel to like all these like special events and like tournaments that don't even pay you. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I find it's ridiculous to put yourself through that grind. So this is like another level compared to last year where it was the best finish limit. Now like you have to go to like 80-90% of the events to like compete for a spot in top 16. So for me, I had like 390 points going to a local regional, and like I got my invite, and I just stopped playing after Portland regionals because like I found no point of playing if like I need like 1,300 points.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
All right. I feel like the grind has sort of taken a love of the game a lot out of a lot of people. Hopefully temporarily, but anyway.
I only played
go ahead.
4 regionals this season. It didn't feel like that much of a grind. I could have gone to more events, I guess, but I didn't really want to. That's the thing. It's just like I go to about as many events as I want to. I went to Dallas and Portland even when I was in range to finish up with Cubs just because it sounded fun to go. And I got points at those and got to play in less Cubs, which is great.
Yeah.
Playing cups sucks.
Yeah. I'd rather play in like a regional than a cup for the same amount of points.
Yeah. I love cups. I get to play random stuff. It's fun. So for both formats, we see Buzzswole dominating. For last standard and for currently at Virginia, is Buzzswole going to dominate this coming format? Liam, what do you think?
Probably not. I think you've already seen like Sam and Rahul and Pablo. They really like that psychic deck. So I think as long as the really good players are on the psychic deck, it'll be really hard for Buzzwole to dominate.
Okay. Does anybody think that Buzzswole could dominate despite Malamar?
I think
so
Buzzwole
like,
could.
go ahead, Connor. Go ahead.
I think Buzzwole could succeed despite Malamar, but I think it'd be really rare to see it dominate.
Okay.
Like it's still a good deck, but Malamar is a really difficult matchup, and especially when a good player picks up Malamar, I think it's very difficult for Buzzwole to win.
Okay.
The format feels pretty rock, paper, scissors. The right event, anything could happen, man.
Yeah.
Wamboldt.
Um,
Can do you think Buzzswole will make top 8 at all, or do you think it'll be completely pushed out?
oh yeah, it should make top 8. It has a really bad Malamar and Espeon guard matchup, but outside of that, I think all of its matchups are still pretty solid.
Okay. Do you
So,
think?
so if enough people are playing Buzzwole, like a few people should break through.
Do you think it has? Do you think it's the most powerful deck?
No, Malamar is the most powerful now.
Okay. Kian, what do you think?
I still think it's a really good deck. Like in my opinion, like other than Malamar and Espeon Guard, like it just slaughters like everything else. Like the deck's inherent strength is like pretty ridiculous. And even my testing, like Buzzwole could still get wins off Malamar. It's still like unfavorable, but like I still think it's a really good deck, and it should top 8 this event and future events because all the card combinations it has is just pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So if you guys had to pick a deck right now to take and say this is the number one deck, do you think it's the because first it was like Buzzwole hype, and then Malamar sort of overtook Buzzwole with the weakness from Dawnwings, and then I've seen people talking about Lycanroc because it beats Malamar pretty well. Buzzwole Lycanroc, I mean Zoroark Lycanroc, and then I've seen some Zoroark Golisopod hype, Zoroark Garbodor. I mean, what are your thoughts there? Wambo, what do you think?
I go with Malamar. It just seems very powerful. It has so many different options and ways to build it. So you just have to pick out your right options for the meta, and I think you can succeed with that in pretty much any format.
Okay. Do you have any cute techs in there? Attackers?
Just Mewtwo GX to get around the Dawnwings GX attack in the mirror match.
Oh, nice. Liam, what do you think?
I think in theory I like Zoroark Lycanroc a lot because you should beat other Zoroark decks and you should beat the Psychic deck, but you take the pretty hard L with Buzzwole. But it's like you get like 60-40s in those other matchups and you take like an 80-20 against Buzzwole. So it depends on how much I think good players are going to be playing Buzzwole, which right now I kind of get the feeling that they wouldn't because a lot of the good players like the Psychic deck, and I wouldn't confidently play Buzzwole into that.
Yeah.
So if you can make like a deep run with Zoroark Lycanroc, I feel like you're in a good spot.
Sure. Connor, what do you think?
I like Zoroark Lycanroc a lot too. I think that there's some flexibility as to how you can build it. So like you have the parallel option, you have the counter energy option. I think with the counter energy, it's not quite as bad of a matchup against Buzzwole, but you do still have pretty strong matchups against like your Zoroark decks and Malamar. So if I had to like pick a deck right now to play in Madison, it'd probably be Zoroark Lycanroc.
Keon.
I agree on like Wamboldt. Like it's probably like the safe play to play Malamar since it doesn't have really horrible matchups and it beats Buzzwole. And it's a really powerful deck. Yeah, and on the other hand, like Zoroark Lycanroc, like like you have the potential to win a tournament because Buzzwole should be on the decline, and you could just win on the tournament just hitting all these Malamar decks. So like, safe play wise, Malamar, and like if you're feeling like kind of risky, you can play Zoroark. I just feel like it's risky because I actually tested that fight the Buzzwole match, and I think it's atrocious. Like for any Zoroark deck, the Buzzwole match is just atrocious, and I feel like it could be extremely risky to play it because of people still play Buzzwole, but it can win the tournament if you're like in day 2 where there's like no Buzzwole decks.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Wamboldt, did you want to add something? I thought it looked like you wanted to get in there.
As far as Malamar goes, the only like really big concern I'd have is just people playing Greninja. Because like as soon as someone Shadow Stitches you, you just kind of lose pretty bad. Zoroark I think can be pretty close. Sounds like if people are liking Zoroark a lot, Mars Shadow's probably going to be necessary for Madison if you want to have a shot at doing well in that matchup.
Yeah. The Marshadow Sudowoodo combo we saw being played. Do you think that's it, or do you just go Marshadow?
I don't think the Sudowoodo is too needed because you already have Parallel City.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What older archetype can make a resurgence? And by older archetype, I don't mean like Buzzwole or something like that. I mean something that died that could kind of come back, like maybe Volcanion or Turbo Darkrai or something from maybe last season. Is there anything from last season that can make a comeback? Kian, do you have any thoughts?
Um, I don't know, like maybe Greninja because it can beat Psychic decks, and I don't know how good the Buzzle match is. It's probably like somewhere close, but I hate playing Greninja, so like I have like there probably will be, but I have no idea as of now.
Okay. Liam, what do you think?
I like any deck that can use non-EX attackers because the format really feels like it's more about taking 6 prizes as fast as possible and not like getting a better board than your opponent and grinding them out.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like the sound of Greninja or Volcanion, but I just don't think that they can do it efficiently enough. I haven't tested much though. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw either of those decks doing well.
Yeah.
Canyon's so bad.
Poor
I tried it.
Poor
So,
Volcanion. Connor, what do you think?
I like Greninja too, actually. I put in some games with it. The Buzzwole matchup, like, it's kind of back and forth. Like, sometimes you run really hot and you win like 5 in a row, and then sometimes you don't, and then you lose a lot. So, but I do think that Greninja has the tools to win. Like, anytime you sit across from a Malamar deck, you win, like, right there. And I think to have such a popular auto win is definitely an asset, and then it can hold its own against the rest of the metagame as well, especially now that like Sauropod has kind of fallen off. So
yeah, that's a huge.
Wamboldt, do you have any older things that could come back?
So it's kind of already back, but like the Water Box Lapras deck that Israel Sosa played at like Anaheim or something last year. I think Robin Schulz was the person who posted a list for it. And so the big thing it got was the Volcanion Prism Star, which doesn't seem like heck of an attacker, but it's a non-EX with a ton of HP, so you usually get 2 hits in with it. Yeah. And it also spreads 20 damage to all of your opponent's Pokemon on their bench. So it helps get you the 1-hit KO numbers with Lapras a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think it's very similar to like the Buzzwole V-String deck. I think it's in a vacuum a little bit worse, but it's probably a little bit better potentially for this meta just because Lapras doesn't have Psychic weakness.
Yeah. There was a post, I think it was a Melbourne Regionals, and somebody won it with Greninja GX. Like an all Greninja deck is what it looked like. Are there any thoughts on that? I think it's interesting. But there wasn't a list posted. It was kept secret. Anybody thoughts on that?
I think everyone agrees that Greninja has potential. That this guy didn't share his list means that it will probably be less represented than if he had. But it means that it's a force in the format that is powerful enough that people at least need to prepare for it, I think. And I think Greninja GX is it gives you 30 extra damage of reach, and the GX attack is pretty good considering you like aim to knock out Pokemon on your opponent's bench a lot of the time.
Yeah. So
if it's in pretty naturally, without seeing his exact list, I don't really know what his game plan was. Like if that was his main attacker, if he planned to use Shadow Stitching most of the time. Shadow Stitching is so powerful that I can't imagine he would go heavy GX, but without seeing it, it's hard to know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that maybe we're taking no Buzzwole for granted a little bit. Like Buzzwole is really powerful, and we shouldn't just pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
But he beat a Buzzwole in the finals, which says a lot. If
Yeah.
you can beat Buzzwole with Greninja, it sounds good.
I can't see Greninja beating Buzzwole. That's crazy to me. But I'm wondering if it's a heavier GX line with a couple of the regular ones thrown in.
Yeah, a lot of lists I've saw is just like one or two tech shadow stitching, and it usually doesn't play the break anymore.
He played at least one break. At least there was a break in his picture, I should say.
There was the break.
Which Frogadier do you guys think it was?
I saw the Golbat.
Yeah. He had the Golbat one.
I have to imagine it's a split, right?
I would
Just
imagine.
because water duplicates is so powerful, but you're not gonna evolve into, or you're not gonna need 4 water duplicates once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Duplicates them can't use the ability.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Anyways, Liam, you mentioned you really like non-GX attackers right now. Is there any non-GX deck that you think could perform well, like Gorgeist or Alolan Executor or Garchomp? Anything that you like?
Well, no. But in theory, they sound very good.
I feel like Wamboldt, you have at least one non-GX attacking deck that you like. If you're willing to share it, I'm sure you have one.
No. This morning in the shower, I was thinking about like a Zoroark break Garbodor deck, but then I was like, how come this hasn't been good all season? I'm like, oh yeah, it just loses to Zoroark really bad, so I scrapped that. I've been testing quite a bit with Espeon Garbodor with 3 Trashalanche.
Mm-hmm.
There's Trashalanche seems pretty strong right now, and I cut like Drampa and Tauros, and I play a Mewtwo and a Latios. So it's still has the Espeon, but it's very non-EX focused.
Yeah.
And like it has pretty solid matchups, but it just gets completely ran over by Malamar. So and I don't think you can just get completely ran over by Malamar this weekend. So as much as I liked a lot of the other matchups I was testing, I don't think I could go with that.
Okay. So does anyone, or Kian or Connor, do either of you have a non-EX GX deck that you're willing to share that could be decent?
I played Alolan Executor for a long time after the set released, and it is extremely decent. That's about all.
Mediocre.
It is very all right. You win some games, and you just need so many cards. Like the biggest problem with that deck is the amount of space you have to devote to like actually getting your energy in the discard, and like having the energy to get in the discard too. 160 HP body for non-GX is really good. But,
Yeah, it is for sure. Kian, do you have anything?
I don't know. I tried Gorgeist and I realized that
Yeah, it's got its problems. Gorgeist definitely has this problem. Connor, that reminded me of a joke that I heard once that was something along the lines of going to it was a comedy bit about going to a McDonald's and ordering an extra medium drink. Let's just see what happens. So
Alolan Executor, it's the extra medium deck of the format.
Medium. That's great. So going into this weekend, what else can be tier 1 along with, I consider Buzzwole, I consider Malamar, and I consider Zoroark tier 1. First of all, it sounds like Zoroark Lycanroc is the favorite here, and I'm on board with that. Are those 3 all in tier 1, or is it just Malamar, or is it just, what is it?
All 3, I think. I think you nailed the tier 1, and maybe put Zoropod in there with them.
Okay.
I know Lycanroc definitely seems like the preferred variant, but the like dedicated Zoropod players seem to still be on it, and it's still a pain to deal with for a lot of decks. And I think there's a nice balance, a little triangle going on between the 3 top archetypes right now. So I think they all have a somewhat decent shot to do well, even though they're all hitting each other for weakness.
Okay. Kian, what do you think? Is that tier
Um,
one?
but Malamar and Buzzwole, yeah. For Zorax, I've been testing Zorak against intensively, like been testing Zoroark and Zoroark Garbodor. I feel like Zoroark Garbodor is okay, like it beats Malamar. Buzzwole's like I think it has like the best Buzzwole matchup. I still think it's unfavorable, even though you're playing Trash Lunch and stuff. Like Buzzwole could just run you over with Lycanroc and small Buzzwole. I mean, that was my most success with Zoroark. So I think Zorogarb is decent as well.
Okay. Liam, what do you think for top
Uh,
tier?
I think that one Zorak Gliscopod wasn't tier 1 even when it was good. And I think that like you have a real like RPS of Buzzwole, Malamar, and Zorak decks, but Zorak decks beat Buzzwole decks a lot less often than Malamar decks can like steal wins from Zorak. So Malamar is like in theory the strongest deck, but you get into like metagame, like people like leveling each other with deck choices and stuff. So I think that like Zorak Lycanroc is like the risky read. I don't think that it's like the best of the three. I think in theory it's actually probably the worst because if you played against like 33% Buzzwole, 33% Malamar, 33% Zorak, Zorak could probably be the deck that wins the least out of all of them.
Yeah. Connor, what are your thoughts on tier one?
I think tier 1 is Zoroark Lycanroc, specifically that version, with Zoroark Golisopod and Zoroark Garbodor being in tier 2, like just underneath, and then Buzzwole, Lycanroc, and Malamar. So I think that triangle is definitely tier 1.
Okay.
But I do think,
go ahead.
sorry,
No, go ahead.
I do think Lycanroc has new cards that it got from the set that set it ahead. The 70 HP Rockruff is really good because it allows you to get an energy down on the first turn and not be threatened by a Lele DCE.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also gets Baby Buzzwole, and I think that card is absolutely ridiculous in the deck, especially because you have Mallow, so you can almost definitely get it when you need it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think those two cards bump it above where it was before, whereas it might have been kind of even with the other decks. I think now it's better than the other two.
Okay. I want to talk about tier 2, and we won't go any lower than that. But can everybody name one deck that they think could be in tier 2? Connor, you mentioned a couple there. You want to reiterate those?
Yeah, Zoropod and Zoroark Garbodor, I would say, are in tier 2. They can take a lot of wins against top decks, but I don't think they can do it consistently enough, or not as consistently as tier 1 would. And then the deck that I would add to that would be Greninja. I think Greninja could also be in tier 2.
Okay. Kian, give tier 2 deck.
I just agree with Connor. I think those three decks are just like tier 2. They're not like super broken. They're just like good enough, maybe. They're not broken.
Okay. No Greninja in tier 2.
I think it's tier 2. I don't think that type of deck is tier 1.
That's what I'm saying. Tier 2.
Yep, I think it's tier 2.
Okay. Liam, what are your thoughts?
I really like Zorak Garbodor. You get the consistency of playing a Zorak deck, but you also get the consistency of playing Mysterious Treasure, which I think might actually be the best card in Forbidden Light. So just getting like that huge consistency bump over other decks, like you'll set up like every game. So I like it just for that. Being able to set up every game is like step one to winning a tournament. So it definitely has the potential.
Sure. Wamboldt, what do you think about tier 2?
Greninja and some of the lesser Zoroark variants. And I think the Lapras deck definitely belongs there. It runs over Greninja, and it can go toe-to-toe with any of the tier 1 decks. It's just a little bit less consistent, I think, than all of the tier 1 decks, but its power level's right there. So when it gets rolling, it really can beat pretty much anything.
Liam, I want you to explain Zoroark Garbodor to me because I just don't get this concept. Why am I playing the thing with the best ability with the thing that turns off abilities?
Well, if you have bursting balloon, it's one-sided ability
no.
lock.
Stop.
See,
Stop.
one-sided ability lock is very good. You can also play a lot of field blowers, Kazork, and 8 balls. You're just thinning so heavily that, like, yeah, sometimes it's dead, but you can just discard it to one of your effects.
Okay. So
I don't think it's great. I just think that, it's fine. You can ability lock them when you need to. You can turn off the ability lock when you need to.
So
it does its job.
Does it play 4 blower?
You could play 3, you could play 2. The nice thing about Zoricless is they're really flexible. You can kind of tech them for whatever you want.
Okay. I think I'm just too bad to know when to turn off abilities and when to leave them on, so I might just stay
You
away
should just
from
turn them off all the time. That's like step 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been testing this deck a lot. Like, I've been leaning more towards like Frank's deck. Like Frank Diaz got second at a regionals, Arbiter's Orb, and he played 4 floats, 3 blower.
Okay.
I've been playing more float stones, and I'll just wait till like my opponent blowers me. Then I get to use trade again, and I'll fetch my tool. And another cool thing I've been trying in the deck is Duskmane Necrozma, the promo. It does like 60 to GXs and non-EXs for the unit energy or rainbow.
Yeah.
Already playing that, so that card's okay. Like, it's not like amazing, but I've been working with the deck, and I've been leaning towards more the Floatstone version, so I can get like a turn 1 Duskmane off.
Right. Okay, cool. So now I want to know what deck is not tier 1 or not tier 2 that people are talking about. That they're saying, oh, this is pretty good, but no, they're just wrong. Wamboldt, what deck have you heard people whispering about or talking about that is actually just bad?
I honestly have no idea what anyone's talking about whatsoever.
Word. Kian, what deck is bad that you're hearing people talk about?
Zoropod.
Zoropod.
Lapras. No, Lapras is okay. I'm just kidding. Zoropod.
Okay. Liam, what deck is bad that you're hearing people talk about?
I'm gonna go with Zoropod too. I don't consider that deck a deck anymore.
Sad. Connor.
Everyone seems to be on the Zoropod train. I feel like I need to find something different, but literally right before I came, we tested Zoroark, Lycanroc, and a Zoropod, I don't know, for like 3 hours consecutively. And Zoroark, Lycanroc literally took every single game, and that matchup should be theoretically like even-ish, but it's not even close anymore. So I'm going to go with Zoropod.
All right.
Final answer.
Zoropod is bad, confirmed. Yeah, everything was just a buzzsaw. I mean, except for like Malamar, so whatever, and Lapras. Hey, anyways, what are you expecting to see the most of in Madison? Liam, you start.
I would expect a lot of Malamar. I would probably say that Buzzwell was the play for the tournament if I didn't think that there would be so much Malamar. But I'm going to go with Malamar. You need to be ready for that mirror match, my friend.
I like how you're just assuming everyone's playing Malamar, so they got to be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Connor, go ahead.
I think Malamar and Buzzwole are going to be roughly equal as far as representation. I think they'll be the highest, and then Zoroark decks under that.
Okay. Wamboldt.
I think Zoroark Lycanroc will probably be the most popular. It just won the special event in Cancun. I think I heard that right, or Sam Chen scooped in the finals or something with it. So I think that's going to have a lot of people hyped on it. And
They won in tours, I think. I'm pretty sure that Sam and Pablo played Malamar.
Sam lost on top.
In Cancun, they both played Zoroark, Lycanroc.
Yeah,
Really?
there's 2 special events.
Ooh.
Sam won the first one with Malamar, and then there's a second one where they all play Zoroark, Lycanroc, because apparently it has a good Malamar matchup.
Okay. It won the European one too.
Yeah, it won in tours as well.
So I think those results are going to put a lot of hype behind it, especially with really top-level players choosing that after they had already won with Malamar.
Kian, what do you think?
Just the top 3 decks. I would not be surprised. Like Buzzwole, Malamar, Zor. We'll see all.
Okay. So I could do a meta forecast with a few other guys just for a general one, and so if people are interested in hearing a little bit more about it, they can go check that out. But I want to go ahead and close this one down with my normal question: what is the best deck that you absolutely will not play? Or so for Liam, that's what's the best deck since you're not going. So we'll start with you, Liam. What's the best deck?
I'm pretty sure that Buzzwole is the most powerful deck, but I don't think I would play it in Madison. This season, I've really just been like, I'm going to play the best, most consistent, powerful deck with the highest ceiling, and it's worked pretty well, but I would be too scared to play Buzzwole in Madison.
Okay. Connor.
Buzzrock as well. I think the deck is incredibly powerful, but I would not play it.
Okay. Wamboldt.
Zoroark, Lycanroc, just because I don't have the time to learn the mirror match by Madison, and I'm probably playing Malamar because I really love Ray Eels, and Malamar is basically the same thing with a ton more options. So I'm just gonna work with Malamar and try to get the Zoroark matchup where it needs to be.
Okay. And Kian. Best deck you would not play.
Buzzrock.
Buzzrock?
It's like just to add on, Liam, just to add on to what Liam and Connor said, like deck's just broken. I mean, it's really powerful, but like I am way too scared to hit. Like I would not be surprised if I hit like 4 Malamars playing the deck and just have a bad day.
Okay. All right. Well, let's close with shout outs. Kian, what you got?
Shout outs to someone's PC. Check out our site. I should have an article coming in the next couple days about Zork. And yeah, shout outs to them.
Okay. Wamboldt.
Shout out to Pokemon for good changes recently with the 19-point thing, the increased penalties, and shout out to Top Cut Events for extending the cash money and booster prizes down to a greater amount of competitors.
Connor.
Shout out to Someone's PC and Poke Beach. I should have an article up on Someone's PC in the next couple days about Buzzrock. Put a lot of like stats and stuff into that, so I'm excited for it to come out. And shout out to Yeti Gaming as well in the St. Louis community.
Mm-hmm. And Liam.
I don't have any sponsors or anything, so if you want your ad here, hit me up on Twitter. But otherwise, I gotta give a call out. It's the opposite of a shout out. It's kind of a bad thing to this guy, Azul Garcia Griego. He keeps angry reacting on my comments on Facebook. I don't know what's up with that. You need to get a life, bro.
I feel the hate. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck to everybody in Madison. Peace out.